Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome, Darkside Phil here, and welcome to my gameplay stream. How you doing? Today is Monday, November 14th, 2016, and I am in a good mood, as you can tell. Today's a very busy day for me. I got a lot of stuff I need to do today, but at the same time, it's going to be a fun and silly day for many reasons. Today I am playing on stream Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, the multiplayer of it, which I only got a chance to play about 6 matches of last week because I was so busy covering the campaigns of Infinite Warfare Modern Warfare Remastered. I played some multiplayer of Modern Warfare Remastered, and between all of that, it took up most of the time that I had to cover the games. And then, of course, last week, I wanted to wrap up Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and then Dishonored 2 released. So with all that going on, I didn't have much time to really go back and put in a solid full session of Infinite Warfare multiplayer. And it would have been pretty irresponsible of me to try to review the game without having done that, okay? So I decided that I would eventually go back to it, and today is that day. Alright, so that's why I'm pumped, because today's stream, unlike a lot of the streams I've been doing as of late, where I felt pressured to make progress in a game because I knew that I was on a timetable and I had to try to finish it in a certain amount of time, or to try to do reactionary commentary to a story or whatever is going on in a game. Instead, today's going to be more of just a silly, laid-back stream, playing the multiplayer of this game that, at least from the first several matches that I played, was absolutely ridiculous. And I think we can all agree, just from those few matches, I mean, it was so silly. Double jumping, wall running, flying through the air, you know, stupid running around, meleeing everyone, insta-killing everyone, no one can even shoot the fucking guy, turning into a dog and running around biting and swiping at people. This is certainly not what we've come to expect from the Call of Duty franchise, at least if you were someone like me, who played the games from the very beginning. I played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 1, and this franchise has pretty much done everything it can to run itself into the ground, okay? Now, I want you to understand that if I'm having fun, that's a different thing, but I don't know what's going to happen today. That first session, I actually had fun for all the wrong reasons. I thought the game was so ludicrous that I couldn't stop laughing at how stupid it was. I don't know if that'll change today. I'm gonna try out different modes. I'm not just gonna do Team Deathmatch. I'm gonna try out all the other modes and see if any of them are valid and fun, and we'll go from there. Or I'm gonna give it a fair shake. I'm not going to write it off completely immediately, but I do want to at least play a session of it before I try to review it, okay? Now, the only thing left then, after today's stream, that I have not covered in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare would be the Zombies mode. And I had a lot of people over the past week who contacted me and said, Phil, we really want to play Zombies with you. And honestly, I haven't responded to anyone on that subject, simply because I don't know when I'm playing Zombies. I don't know when I'm going to have the opportunity to play Zombies. Right now, this week in particular, we got Watch Dogs 2 coming out tomorrow, and Pokemon Moon, which I'll be playing starting Friday. And between those two games, being that I know they're going to be lengthy games, if anything can be judged from the previous installments of those franchises, I can't promise you when I'm going to take time to do a session of this zombie so that I can review Infinite Warfare, okay? So more than likely I will be doing it. I'll have to squeeze it in, but it's not going to be this week. It'll probably be next week, which is Thanksgiving week here in the United States. Things get a little bit more laid back as a lot of people end up having time off and stuff that week. And I'm going to try to squeeze in my session of Zombies during that week, alright? Now the good news is, once I do that, then I can review the game, which I've been waiting to do, and finally I'll be able to let everyone know what's my opinion on it, etc. And we'll go from there, alright? So that's my gameplay stream for today's Infinite Warfare multiplayer. Now later tonight, I'm going to be reviewing Dishonored 2. Now understand, I'm going to be reviewing it from a side of playing Emily, the new character, and from a chaos playthrough standpoint, meaning during my playthrough, I pretty much tried to kill everything I could. I'm sure there's going to be people who played it from completely the opposite situation, and it may be a little bit different, so that's why I think my review will actually be an interesting one, because a lot of people don't go for the chaos run. A lot of people go for the non-violent, sneaky run, And for the first time, you know, in a game like that, I kind of went I went against the grain. Let's put it that way. So that should be an interesting review, okay? That'll be tonight on KO Gaming. And, I'm going to do my best to put it out. You know, I'm definitely getting it out tonight. I just don't know how long it's going to take. Because typically when I have to do the voiceovers, get the music, do the thumbnail, you know, for YouTube, and then I have to do all the editing, get all the video stuff together, it takes a long time to put all that together, okay? So I don't know. It's going to take several hours of work tonight to try to do this and get it all out in one go. We'll see how that goes. But that'll be live on KO Gaming later tonight, alright? I really don't have much to talk about on pre-stream today. I got a couple quick questions from different people, various people that I'd like to address. First off, I just want to let everyone know, this Friday I'm going to start playing Pokemon Moon, and as of last night, I decided to make my Pokemon Omega Ruby playthrough, which I did 2 years ago, right here on KO Gaming. Excuse me, right here on DSP Gaming, I misspoke. I've made it public again. Now, last year I had to make this playthrough private, because I was getting tons of false copyright claims against my YouTube channels for using fan art. Alright? Now, if you're not aware, what that meant was that people were submitting fan art for me to use on pre-streams, for me to use in my videos. They were giving me legal permission to use fan art, and then a couple trolls basically were making false claims against the art, saying, oh no, this is legally mine, and stuff like that. And YouTube, having a terrible copyright claim system, basically held me guilty until proven innocent. So they were legally filing copyright strikes against my accounts and punishing my YouTube channels even though I had no wrongdoing at all. So I basically had to make all of my playthroughs that ever had fan art or templates or anything private, and that included all of my Nintendo 3DS playthroughs. So a lot has changed since last year. If you're actually not aware, YouTube in the past year took a lot of flack because, unlike me, you know, I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm not. I was at one point. I never will probably be that big ever again. I'm small potatoes, but I've always had copyright claim issues because of YouTube's broken copyright system. Okay? All of a sudden, early this year, bigger YouTubers than me, including places like Channel Awesome and other places, were getting tons of these false copyright claims against them, to which they started a huge campaign on social media about fixing YouTube because the system is broken and it should not treat you as guilty until proven innocent. So YouTube this year made a lot of changes. Okay? And apparently one of the changes they've made is they instituted protection so that if someone tries to file a copyright strike against you, someone will actually fucking review it. A human will actually review the case before they just blanket accept a copyright strike against your account. Now, I actually know of a few particular YouTubers who used to have a lot of issues with false copyrights, who this year they would get a notice and it would say, FYI, someone tried to file a copyright strike against you, but we reviewed it and determined that it's not correct, therefore don't worry about it, but we wanted to make you aware that someone's trying to do this to you. So because this happened, I said, I'm going to take a chance, alright, and I went back and I made my Pokemon Omega Ruby playthrough public again. So, if you would like to check it out, it's right here on DSP Gaming. You can search for, you know, DSP Gaming Pokemon Omega Ruby, or if you go to my website, thekingofhate.com, there's a tab at the top of your screen. It says Playlists. Click on that tab and just type in Pokemon Omega Ruby into the search, and you can bring it up, and now it's public. You can watch it. Because a lot of people were saying, man, I'd really like to watch Phil's Pokemon playthrough before the new one to see, you know, to get back into the groove, and now it is live. So there you go. If you're bored this week and you're not interested in Watch Dogs 2 or anything like that, this might be something that you want to check out to kill some time before the new one comes out. So there you have it. That is how I'm going to approach it. I'm going to go very slow, baby steps, all right, baby steps, as we get towards maybe I can bring back all of the stuff that I made, you know, private, including my Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask playthrough, my Tomodachi Life playthroughs, my Monster Hunter coverage that I did, and my, yes, the biggest one in my opinion, my Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright playthrough, the full-on playthrough that I voice acted fully when the game came out. Tell me how many other YouTubers did full voice acting for Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, because I'll tell you, 0. I was the only one. If I can make all those live again, I would love to. I know there's people who are really sad that those playthroughs had to be hidden. One person actually told me they had ultimate blue balls because they were like 10 videos away from finishing Majora's Mask, and then it went private, and they were like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I could certainly understand that, okay? So anyway, like I said, baby steps, baby steps. Now, this doesn't open the floodgates. I want you to understand. People are, oh, can I submit fan art? Can I do this and that? Let's relax. Let's see what happens. If things go well, right, we'll take it step by step. If I can maybe, if this Pokemon playthrough goes good, you know, I got a Pokemon new playthrough coming out on Friday. Let's see if that goes good. And if all that goes good, maybe I'll bring back the other playthroughs. And if that goes good, who knows? Maybe I'll start using fan art again. But we have to be very careful. I have to be very diligent here and slow moving. Don't rush full force into it. And the next thing you know, the whole system explodes again. All right. So there you have it. All right. That's the deal with Pokemon. I'm looking forward to it on Friday, and I hope that you will check out Omega Ruby if you haven't yet. Should be fun. All right. The other piece of news that I'd like to talk about is Titanfall 2. If you're not aware, Titanfall 2 was released 2 weeks ago. It was actually Friday 2 weeks ago, so at this point it's like 16, 17 days it's been out. All right. And when it came out, I actually enjoyed the game, but I was very brutally honest in my review of it, and I said I think it's a game without a place. It's not a bad game. The multiplayer is fun, although it will get repetitive after about 5 to 10 hours of playing the multiplayer because there's not a lot to offer in its initial offering here. The campaign is decent, but it's nothing amazing that blows me away, but it also wasn't bad. It was nice that it was in there. But ultimately what I said in my review was that I don't feel the game has a place because it released between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty. It literally released itself between the other two major established first-person shooter franchises, and ultimately what's going to happen is people are either going to buy Battlefield or Call of Duty, and Titanfall 2 is going to get lost in the mix. Now, of course, ladies and gents, a lot of people criticized me and said, Phil, you're so off base here. People who have actually played Titanfall 2 have said it's an amazing game and reviewing it highly, and you're just being overly critical and you're being unfair because you didn't like Titanfall 1, yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? As of this morning, the major retailer of America, Walmart, has placed the game on half price. And this is not an exaggeration or a joke. They literally have made it a $30 game 2 weeks after its initial release, and I would definitely believe that other game retailers are going to follow suit, because the bottom line is if Walmart's selling it for $30, no one else is going to be able to sell it for $60. So they're all going to be slashing prices. Unfortunately, what does this mean? Sadly, it means no one bought it. Because what this means is that Walmart is trying to liquidate their inventory. They probably ordered a ton of copies of this game, thinking it was going to be a hit, and so few people bought it that now they have to get rid of that inventory. Especially with all the, think about it, Christmas coming up, they need the inventory space for all the games that are actually selling, so they got to get rid of this game. So that's what they've done. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 weeks after release, it's already a half-price discount title. That's sad, because I hate to say it, I feel bad for Respawn Entertainment, the developers of the game, because the game is good. But like I said, they literally shot themselves in the foot and killed their own chances for success by releasing it the week before Call of Duty and the week after Battlefield 1. Like, this game had nothing going for it with that release. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, alright? It is what it is, and what can you do? It's unfortunate, it's sad, but that's reality. That's business. And if someone like me from the outside, I'm not in the gaming industry, right? I don't work for a major corporation. I don't work for Activision, and I wasn't the one analyzing the data and telling them what the fuck are they doing. I'm an outside observer, and I could tell that this was a bad idea. Why the hell don't the people who make the big bucks, and apparently this is their job to analyze this stuff, why the fuck couldn't they figure that out? Like, Ah, my God. And by the way, I said Activision by accident. I meant to say EA, because it was actually EA, I believe, who published Titanfall. Actually, now I don't even know. Who did publish Titanfall 2? I don't know. Whoever published it fucked up. Because that was terrible, terrible release timing for it, okay? Alright. Ladies and gents, that's it for the pre-stream. What I'm going to do now very quickly is run through quick plugs. And then we're going to get started with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Multiplayer Madness. So first off, thank you for being here live on stream. I appreciate it. By the way, I wish I could tell you how I'm doing right now business-wise, but I can't because YouTube data has been screwed up this entire month. I know today's the 14th, so we're almost halfway through November. YouTube has only updated the data twice this month in regards to channel performance. Meaning, I go to my dashboard with Machinima and I try to see, oh, gee, how much money did this channel make and this channel make? And all the data is outdated. And I actually asked them about it, and they said this month in particular, YouTube's been all screwed up, and they're not sending the proper data out to anyone. So no one knows how they're doing this month at all. Isn't that nice? So I can't tell you if I'm doing good or I'm doing bad or I'm doing okay this month. I'm hoping for the best, and I'm just approaching it with a positive attitude. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you're having fun watching my stuff as well, okay? So thanks for being here live on the stream. This will be a less serious stream. If you enjoy watching my daily live streams, if you like watching my videos on YouTube, if you want to see me continue to do this as a job, there's many ways that you can help out. First of all, Loot Crate. I have a Loot Crate referral link and discount code. They're in the description of all of my videos and all of my live streams. By the way, you can probably hear a lawnmower outside. It sounds like someone's having landscaping done. It's not me. Sorry about that. Anyway, if you use the referral code or the referral link, lootcrate.com/darksidefill, and the discount code SAVEME10DSP, you can save 10% on any new Loot Crate subscription, and I get a little bit of referral credit. So, if you watched any of my unboxings of Loot Crate over on the King of Hate vlogs, you'll get an idea of what kind of merchandise you can get in these crates. And please consider using my referral stuff when you do sign up, because I get a little bit of credit for that, okay? There we go. That burp was stuck in my chest for about 20 minutes there, and I finally got it out. Excuse me. Number 2, Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP. Please follow me on Twitter. Every night you're going to get a schedule update so you know exactly what I'm doing the next day. You'll also get all kinds of information about my feelings about all kinds of stuff, including television, and when I go out and I see a funny thing, I'll take a picture on my Instagram and post it up there on my Twitter. And, you know, I don't use Twitter like a lot of other people. I don't just spam tweets on there 24/7. And a lot of people seem to have enjoyed my Twitter recently. In fact, I got a big increase in Twitter followers this past week, which was funny because after the election happened last week, I tweeted a lot about it, and I lost like 40 Twitter followers, and now I've gained like double that back. So I don't know what happened, but hey, it is what it is. Thank you to those who are following me @TheyCallMeDSP. Please consider doing so yourself. KO Gaming. This is the channel where I do edited style content, game reviews, montages. Coming up near the end of this year, my Game of the Year series will be there, including my Game of the Year awards, my most disappointing games of the year, the funniest moments of the year. All that stuff is going to be on KO Gaming this year. So please consider heading over there and subscribing. That's youtube.com/KOGaming1. Tonight, I'm releasing my review of Dishonored 2 over there, so you're going to want to check it out, okay? patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Update for all of the people who pledged to my Patreon in October. As of last night, I gathered all of your information, and I submitted it to my webmaster. He's aware of it. He's going to process all of those forum upgrades soon. And within a day or two, you should be able to nominate games for the upcoming Indies Marathon. That's going to happen on November 28th. And you'll also be able to post up your questions for Ask the King, which is going to be on November 24th. All right? So sorry that there is a delay there before I can get those things activated. It sucks because Patreon is a completely manual system. If they had an automated system to accept your information on the forums up front, I would have it automated, but they don't do that. They're a very manual, slow-moving business. So it is what it is. I do as much as I can. But anyway, this month, if you pledge to my Patreon, you are contributing not only to obviously allowing me to continue to do this full-time as a job, but also you're contributing to my monthly goal of Multiplayer Madness returning. What this means is that if we hit the funding goal for this month by the end of the month, and if you pledge $5 or more, you're going to be able to play multiplayer with me. Whether it's Battlefield 1, Overwatch, Gears of War 4, Titanfall 2, or either of the Call of Duty releases that came out, those are the games I'm going to be playing multiplayer in come late December and early January. All right. So I'm excited because the last time I ran this event, which was in the summertime, it went really well. The people who participated loved it. They said, man, for the first time ever, I was able to play with Phil in a controlled environment. I didn't have any trolling or anything. I was able to guaranteed get in, which was the major problem. A lot of times people want to play multiplayer with me, but they can't get in. They can't get into the matches because so many people are trying to get in that the spots fill up so quickly they never get in and never have an opportunity to play with me. And I do voice communication during these. So we'll be voice chatting and trying to do really well in these games. And it could be a lot of fun, all right? So please, consider pledging if you haven't. You have 2 weeks left to pledge for this month and to get in on that event. Now, it's not just about that. There's also personal perks and stuff that you get, including text and verbal thank yous in my videos. You can get your questions answered on Ask the King, as I just mentioned. It's my bi-monthly Q&A show. You can get a private Q&A video made. There's a lot of cool perks and things. In my opinion, the best perk is the $5 level perk, because this is the one where you get to basically contribute to my content. And this month, right now, patrons are nominating on indie games that I'm going to be playing at the end of the month in this day-long marathon. That's cool, right? The amazing amount of power you get for being a patron. And you get to nominate, and then you're going to be voting again on those games. So that's cool. And that's the, if you keep a $5 pledge every month, you get to get in on every one of those events that happens during the year. That's, in my opinion, the best perk you can get. Okay, and that's why I keep it $5. It's cheap. It's not, oh, $50 to have that kind of power. No, it's $5 a month. So please consider pledging, even if you haven't. As little as $1 a month helps, all right? It adds up, it really does. And right now, with my business being uncertain, because I don't know how the hell it's going, every dollar helps. So please consider if you haven't. And then last but not least, my girlfriend owns her own business called The Black Current. She sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. Please check it out. Great stuff. It's been in operation for over a year and a half. Nothing but positive customer feedback. Now we're heading into the holiday season. With only a little bit over a month left before Christmas, it's a great idea for a gift for a loved one or a family member or significant other. Whether you get the awesome level soap, right? Smells great, keeps you clean. Or if you get a wax tart melt that makes your house smell good. All right, there you have it, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for being patient during the plugs. And now it is time for me to start with the Infinite Warfare madness. I can't wait to see how ridiculous this is. All right, let's begin.